Alright. You said what? What'd you ask me? I thought you said what you Johnson. Alright. Remember last time I recorded y'all? It was for my own class. Yeah. I thought that was okay. I gotta do it again. So just act like nothing's happening. Right. Okay. We talked about Franz Ferdinand. We talked about he was heir, how he was assassinated. I gave y'all that long-winded story about how his driver made the wrong turn.
He got blocked up in.
Yeah, and the other assassination of our boy, Garrido, right there, shot him. Right there's my boy Franz, his majestic mustache, and there's our boy Gabriel. A little bit older than y'all, about 4 years older than y'all. Y'all are really close to changing the world age. Alright, so Austria, if you see Austria is Austria-Hungary. So basically call like United States of America, just America, okay? So don't get confused, you see Austria, Austria-Hungary and Austria are the same thing, okay? So Austria declares war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. Russia is a Serbian ally. They ordered to mobilize their troops towards the Austrian and German borders. Germany declares war on Russia and France on August 1st, 1914, because France was Russia's ally. Soon after, Britain declares war on Germany. So now these states are set. You have the Central Power. Why do y'all think they were called the Central Power?
Because they were good.
Right, Malachi. Germany and Austria-Hungary are in the middle of Europe, so they're in the central of Europe. Alright, and you have the Allied power. You have British, French, Russia, and all the other nations. There's some other nations playing a factor, but the key contributors for both sides is Germany, Austria-Hungary, and British, French, and Russia. Repeat questions so far.
Hold on, don't.
Again, Austria and Austria-Hungary are the same people. It's like calling the United States of America just America.
Central powers. Allied powers.
I'm gonna post this on y'all Google Classroom, y'all get everything. Alright, so the Western Front was a deadlocked battlefield of northern France. So both armies were pushing each other, not really giving no ground. So that was because of the Schifflin Plan. So this was the German military plan to rapidly defeat France, then rush east to fight Russia. Developed by General Schifflin. So the first battle was the Battle of Marne. It is a river near the border of France and Germany. Okay, the Allies defeated Germany near Paris and ruined the Schifflin Plan. Germany now is forced to fight two fronts, a two-front war. What does it mean if you're fighting on two fronts?
You just split up your army.
No, what'd you say?
You have to split up your military force.
Okay, you gotta split your military. Why?
You guys have to defend and attack. So you don't get ambushed from behind.
Alright, so basically, now I say you have to defend two different places, right? So Germany is now fighting a war on their border of France and Germany, and also fighting on the border of Russia. So their army is spread out now. They're fighting on two fronts. They're fighting on the Western Front against France, and they're fighting on the Eastern Front now against Russia. Alright? So yeah, the war on the West Front settled into a stalemate. As we just saw in the video, that stalemate led to what type of warfare? Trench warfare. We're going to talk about that in a little bit here.
What time we leave from?
10:55, so it is always. trench warfare. The definition of trench warfare is a form of warfare in which opposing armies fight each other from trenches dug in the battlefield. Alright? We saw the video. These trenches run almost all the way from the English Channel, which is the body of water that separates France and Germany from Great Britain, to the Mediterranean Sea. So basically from the top of each country to the bottom. These trenches, you can still see the scars of these trenches in Europe today. I'll show you all the photo in a little bit. But you can still see where these guys used to be dug in for, or dug in at. So no man's land. This is the space between opposing trenches. This is probably the worst place you can be on the planet, right? Because this place was filled with nothing but barbed wire. The field was a complete quagmire, which means like a mess. It's muddy, wet, hard to move through, dead bodies just out there, rats, disease. Like I said, barbed wire, the stuff to make sure that moving through that land was extremely difficult. The whole time you're moving through this land, you probably have machine guns firing at you the whole entire time. So the Battle of the Somme is a really big battle. It's a 4-month battle. British attacked Germany in the valley of the Somme River. They lost 30,000 people in one day. To put that in respect to y'all, I'm gonna look up how many people live in Belgium and Honeypath. Come on.
That's probably everybody.
Probably could go.
Yeah. More than that.
So 4,500 live in Belgium. 4-500, so 4,500. Then about 3,800. So let's add up. Let's say
It's
that's
like,
about 7,000 in between. So 7, 14, 21, 28. So imagine if every person in Belgian Honeypath was killed over 4 times. That's the amount of people that the British lost in the first day of this battle. Just the first day of this battle. This battle is going to take over
4 months.
we get it, you got it.
1.6 million. They would end up losing 1.6 million. And this is just one single battle. This is just in one location. This isn't even talking about the fight they're doing everywhere else in the world. This is just on this battle alone right here. Are y'all good on the slide?
No.
Yeah.
How do you not know?
Jesus will take it.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Alright, so here are the trenches. Keep in mind, guys,
No.
they were living here 24/7. It's not like they clocked in, went to the trenches for 8 hours and left. No, we can see, guys, he's taking a nap.
Oh, he's dead.
He's not dead. If he was dead, he would probably be somewhere else. He's taking a nap.
Right.
He's chilling. Then we got one dude over here kind of keeping an eye out. This is probably at the beginning of the war, because the trench is in a pretty good location, or it's in the dry season. Why I'm saying that is because there's no mud
No bomb.
and
And the water.
there's no water. That's why old dude out here can sleep peacefully on the ground.
I don't know about peaceful.
Decently, but
As peaceful as you can be, right?
decently.
Compared to the video, y'all remember what the video said? How's it like when it started raining and got really muddy in there? What did the video talk about?
It's like
You get
trench
diseases,
foot.
rats,
Okay, you get trench foot. Trench foot, it came from what? Don, what are you saying?
Water.
rats, diseases.
Diseases, water. Okay, so this place is
Poisonous
basically,
water.
this place didn't have no way to get rid of the water. They didn't dig trenches in. So, oh yeah, let's put some little,
Drain
let's
holes.
put a little drainage system in there. No, that wasn't on no one's mind. So when it rained here, the water was in the bottom, it was stuck there. So these soldiers were walking through for months on end. They had these wet feet, wet boots for months on end.
That flops.
Wet socks, all that stuff. They're stuck in this disgusting water. People died in that water. Dead corpses are laying there. Rats, bacteria. Y'all seen that still water videos on TikTok, right?
Still water funk.
So yeah, especially like that, right? It's just very disgusting. And when you live there in those conditions for that many months, this will happen to your feet.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Olive Road.
Samaki.
Olive Road. My fault. Olive Road. This is a overrun trench right here.
But that's
Yeah, my fault. I definitely lost more on that. I definitely did. Alright, so this is an overrun trench right here. As we can see, we have a lot of dead fallen soldiers right here. The trench looks like it got overran. And they have the victorious soldier. The next one is the no man's land. This is what we're talking about. This is the area these soldiers would rush across from their trenches while they're facing artillery fire the whole entire time. Alright,
Oh.
this is trench foot. This is what happens to your feet once you're in
On my toe.
bacteria infested, rat infested, bloody water for months on end. Your feet get this terrible infection,
No,
and you probably know how to get it amputated. We should tell this majority. Here's another photo. Wait, there's not two photos. Yep, there's the first photo.
That's freaking nasty.
So yeah,
Thanks.
not pleasant.
Why that go?
I mean, can y'all imagine just walking on that? Like, you ever call just to walk on it, just stand?
I can't even walk when I got a little sore on the bottom of my foot.
Alright, so the Battle of the Eastern Front. The Eastern Front region along the German-Russian border were mainly Russian and Serbs battling against the Germans and Austro-Hungarians, right? So on the Eastern Front, you had the Serbs and the Russians fighting against the Germans and Austro-Hungarians, and on the Western Front, you had the British and French troops fighting against the German front in the trench warfare. That's what's going on currently.
Are we stopping at the phase?
What's up?
When are we stopping at the end of the phase?
Once the U.S. When we talk about the U.S. getting involved, we'll be near that.
Where, we only got 4 more.
This is Russia's army. This is how Russia provided the war. So Russia launched attacks into Germany and Australia. Well, not Australia, Austria. But we're driven out of both countries, mainly because Russian army was always short on food and ammunition. They did not industrialize yet, okay? What does industrialize mean?
Get better
Get better in what areas?
buildings and supplies or
Because you have what in your country specific?
materials.
You have raw material, but where do you need some raw material to make it a fine good?
The tree.
Factories, right? So when you think of industrialization, Russia barely had next to no factories. Most of their land was still farmers. They had a very poor working class, right? It still looked like it was the 1850s. So they were behind on Europe, right? They were behind with the rest of Western Europe. Germany, Britain, France, they all had these big, huge factories pumping out material. What do factories produce during war?
Weapons.
Weapons, ammunition,
guns.
armor, tanks, anything you need for a war, most of it comes from a factory. But Russia has not yet industrialized yet. So you think they can provide their soldiers or army enough materials to fight a world war?
Nope.
No, they can't, right? That's why Germany had their initial plan of the Shetland plan. They thought they'd be able to take over France quick enough because it would take so much time for Russia to form and able to feed and give enough material for this army, right? But no. Russia's only asset is its enormous population. And this is still a tad bit true to this day. Even in Ukraine, we see Russia is throwing just a tons amount of bodies at the Ukraine border, right? That's true in almost all Russia's war. They kind of just look at their huge amount of population as kind of just like fighting bombs, you know, just kind of send them out there. We'll send 10,000 out there to die. So be it. We have the biggest population in the world, you know, or one of the biggest. That's how kind of Russia always fought. Kind of like still do fight, still a little bit. to a certain extent. Alright, so for 3 years, they built their army and prevented Germany from sending all their troops to the west. So that's basically the best thing Russia did. They basically got involved, essentially. They made sure that Germany could not focus solely on France and take them out before moving to them, essentially. So Russia just got in the way, essentially. They just got in the way, essentially. Alright, the U.S. joined the war. Unrestricted submarine warfare. This was initiated by the Germans. The use of submarines to sink without any warning of any ship they found in any waters. Alright? So Germans at the beginning of the war said, yo, this is what we're doing. If we find any ships, we're shooting, we're firing. No warning, no nothing. We're in war. Right? Obviously, this tactic was carried out by their submarines. Do you remember? Does anyone know what their submarines were called?
It's something I remember. We learned about it last year. U-boat.
And this summer, I will commit my talent to the University of Miami. You're right. Yeah, U-boats.
Pardon?
You never seen you do like this for the U? Okay, Jake. Someone gets it. Alright, the U-boats. Well, what the name of the German submarines? Good job, Cooper.
That's a bear park one?
Not yet. April 2nd, 1917, President Wilson asked Congress to declare war on Germany. U.S. forces the war on the Allied side. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Alright, let's see, before we get to it, someone raise their hand if they know, they can tell me the two main reasons the U.S. got into World War I. Dominic, give me one
One is
reason.
because German threw up one of our ships. I believe it was Mary or something.
No, it
No.
was Taney. But yeah, you're on the right path. Germany blew up one of our ships with their unrestricted submarine warfare. What was the second reason? Start with a Z.
Zoom.
Was that a note?
Oh, it was a telegram.
Yeah.
Oh, they listened in or like figured it out.
Alright, so y'all a little background knowledge on this, okay? Alright, so here is a U-boat. This is from World War II. Obviously, it's not World War I. It's about 20 years of different technology. But the outskirts of it, like the mold of it, is probably pretty similar. Now, the inside of the technology from World War I, World War II, definitely advanced. But the shell of a U-boat, a submarine, looks pretty similar. If you look up a submarine today, it's gonna look, the shell of it is gonna look pretty similar. Obviously, the inside's gonna have a lot better technology, but the outside of it's still pretty similar.
I thought we were stopping where it said U.S. joined the war.
We have like one more slide left. Do you have any questions on what we covered so far? No? Alright. So why did the US join the war? We said the first reason, Dominic mentioned, the Lusitania. So the British passenger ship was sunk by the U-boat. 128 U.S. citizens died on May 7th, 1915. Okay? So the reason why U.S. people were so upset was because we believed this was a sort of passenger boat. There was nothing on it but civilians.
Quit turning around.
You want to use that?
His mouth's
I
trying to
did.
get in the chair.
Alright, so for years and years and years, we were told that the Lusitania did not have any weapons on the ship. Very recently, probably in like the last 10 years, like our government finally came out and was like, yeah, we did have weapons on those ships. So we were kind of like hiding weapons behind our citizens. So it doesn't give German the rights to develop that boat, but still. Alright, so Germany also sunk 3 other American ships in 1917. So it wasn't only Lusitania. That was the first one, that was the big one, that's one we all remember. But they also sunk 3 other ships. Alright, and then the final one is the Zimmerman note. Alright, so it's a telegram. Telegram was essentially like the 1900s version of the early 1900 versions, like texting somebody. They used Morse code, which is like that language, like 1s and 2s. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like 1.2. Oh, excuse me. So use Morse code for it. So it's a telegram intercepted by the U.S. saying Germany would help Mexico regain land lost to the U.S. and they would ally itself with Germany. So this land that they were talking about would be the land that we lost in the Mexican-American War. So that'd be like California, New Mexico, Nevada, Texas. Texas kind of a little thing. It could take back Texas too, it might, if they wanted to. That could have part of the strategy. But yeah, so that would make the West Coast region, like the Sun Belt region we talked about, and the West Coast. Alright, so in the 3 years before U.S. entered the war, Europe has lost more men in battle than in all the wars in the previous 3 centuries. What does the term century mean?
10 years.
No, it's a decade.
100 years.
100 years. So in the past 3 years since the war started, so in 1914 until we won the war in 1917, Europe lost more men in those 3 years than they did in the previous 300 years of warfare.
That's crazy.
Why do y'all think? What do you think was the main reason on why so many more people died in this war compared to all other wars?
Because we got involved.
Jay, what'd you say?
Maybe because we had more high tech.
Okay, so we had way more high-tech things. We had like real missiles on boats. We had submarines. We had
Getting a
machine guns. Machine guns started coming to the factory, right? Before then, you were still like shooting one bullet at a time. Now we're getting automatic guns, right? Tanks. Tanks would be coming into play pretty soon in this picture too. So the technology had gotten super advanced. We essentially became really good at killing each other since the last major war. Let me see, I want this real quick.
There's a Ukraine and Russian war still going
So
on.
the funny thing about it is the German telegram actually reached Mexico, and they actually rejected it. So they didn't want it, but it was so funny. It also made no sense. Like, why would Germany even do that? Because if you think of it, Germany's struggling to fight on both sides right now. They can barely even win a war. They're losing a war in their own backyard. What gives them the right mind to think they can send troops across an ocean and fight on the other side of the world? I don't know what they're thinking with that, but yeah, it doesn't seem like the smartest idea for them. Alright, so here's Lusitania. It was built in the 1900s. Why has that kind of that Titanic vibe to it?
That's like Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival. If you would have been one of the ones on that ship, you were alive back then. Alright, so there we are. Okay. Since y'all are going, like I said earlier in class, since y'all are going on the field trip today, I'm gonna kind of give the rest of the class for y'all to do makeup work, okay? Y'all have y'all essay due today, the vocab, the European vocab is due today, and we also have the political map, okay?
There's no new things.
No, because I don't want to give y'all anything, because I'm gonna have like half my class in here on my third and fourth, and I don't want my first and second to get too far ahead of y'all.
So, what if we don't have it?
Yeah, essentially, y'all have everything.
Okay, that's
I don't got nothing.
I'll let y'all. I'm gonna print off all the reports. God know there's some of y'all have stuff missing here, and I'll kind of swing that by.
Had a
Wait, are you going on the field trip today?
But yeah, okay.
Don't talk to me.
Oh, that
Then
ain't
you can
sense.
study for your test in the
I'm in
class.
70 on this.
Oh, also, if you want to earn a Bear Pie card, if you get under 50 seconds and you get 100% on the practice quiz, the whole thing of Europe, I'll give you a Bear Pie card. Okay?
Under 30 seconds?
40. No.
50.
Under 50. I'm around 50.
60.
70.
80.
I don't know, it's 24 minutes.